Judy Garland, the iconic star of Hollywood's golden age, captivated audiences worldwide with her powerful singing and vibrant stage presence. Born Frances Ethel Gumm in Minnesota, she achieved international fame as Dorothy in the 1939 classic The Wizard of Oz. However, her glittering career concealed a life marred by profound struggles. Judy's career was largely shaped by her mother, Ethel Marion, whom she later referred to as the real Wicked Witch of the West. Ethel's relentless ambition deprived Judy of a normal childhood, forcing her into the demanding world of entertainment at an early age. Meanwhile, her father, Francis Avent Gumm, engaged in secretive affairs with men, which often led the family to relocate under difficult circumstances, even resorting to living out of their car. Her professional life was equally distressing. Studio executives subjected Judy to a grueling diet of black coffee, chicken broth, and cottage cheese to maintain her slim appearance. She was introduced to diet pills at a young age to cope with the pressures of work, setting the stage for a lifelong struggle with substance abuse. In addition, Judy endured harassment from studio bosses, further eroding her mental health. Tragedy struck in 1935 when her father passed away from meningitis, leaving her emotionally vulnerable. Alienated from her mother and stepfather, Judy faced the harsh realities of the entertainment industry alone. Despite her immense talent, the relentless demands and exploitation left her increasingly dependent on drugs. Her life came to a heartbreaking end at the age of 47, with her death attributed to an accidental overdose of barbiturates. Judy's legacy endures as a symbol of both extraordinary talent and the often unseen toll of stardom. Today, her story is revisited in the wake of Wicked, a Wizard of Oz spin-off inspired by her iconic role. Here, Celebrity Deaths Channel reveals the tragedies behind Judy's life. 1. Reluctant child star with Wicked Witch mother. Born Frances Baby Gumm to vaudevillian parents, Judy Garland's life in the spotlight began early. At just 2.5 years old, she performed alongside her sisters, Mary Jane and Dorothy Virginia, singing Jingle Bells while their mother, Ethel, accompanied them on the piano. These early performances paved the way for more shows on the vaudeville circuit, attendance at dance school, a film debut in a 1929 short, and even a stage appearance with vaudeville legend Georgie Jessel, who would later become a Hollywood filmmaker. The stage quickly became a place of solace for Judy, a sentiment she openly shared in a 1963 interview. "The only time I felt wanted when I was a kid was when I was on stage, performing." Her feelings of belonging on stage contrasted sharply with the isolation she felt at home. Her father, Frank Gumm, was involved in affairs with young men and teenage boys, leading the family to move frequently. In 1926, they relocated to California, a move that benefited Judy's budding career but strained her parents' marriage. Reflecting on her turbulent family life, Judy once said, "My parents were separating and getting back together all the time. It was very hard for me to understand those things, and, of course, separations." Judy's mother, Ethel, was relentless in her quest to turn her daughter into a star, earning Judy's nickname for her as the real Wicked Witch. In a 1967 interview with Barbara Walters, Judy recalled her mother's intense pressure. "She'd stand in the wings, and if I was sick, she'd say, 'You get out and sing or I'll wrap you around the bedpost and break you off short.' So, I'd go out and sing." According to biographer Gerald Clark, Ethel even began giving Judy diet pills at the age of 10 to control her energy and help her sleep. In 1935, Frank Gumm's ambition led him to arrange an audition for his daughter with Louis B. Mayer, the head of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM. At 13, standing just 4 feet 11 inches, Judy impressed Mayer with her singing and was offered a contract with the studio, launching her career in one of Hollywood's most prestigious studios, where she remained until 1950. At MGM, Judy attended school with future stars like Mickey Rooney, Ava Gardner, and Elizabeth Taylor. While she didn't possess their classic beauty, Judy's voice set her apart. Yet, as she later remarked, MGM often didn't know what to do with young performers who weren't clearly children or adults. Despite this, Judy worked alongside Hollywood's elite, including Norma Shearer, Clark Gable, and Joan Crawford, establishing herself as a star who could sing, dance, and act with unmatched charisma. 2. Molested on the Wizard of Oz set. Judy Garland's breakout role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz is widely credited with launching her into Hollywood stardom. However, the process of making the beloved film was deeply traumatic for the then-teenage actress, leaving scars that shaped the rest of her troubled life. At 16 years old when she began filming, Judy was subjected to relentless pressures to look younger and maintain a slim figure. MGM studio executives imposed an oppressive diet regimen, restricting her to chicken soup, black coffee, and amphetamines, known as pep pills, to keep her energized during grueling shoots. She was also given sleeping pills to bring her down at night, creating a dangerous cycle of drug dependence. On top of this, she was required to smoke up to 80 cigarettes a day to suppress her appetite. A corset was used to flatten her stomach and chest to fit Dorothy's childlike image, which Judy later joked was made of iron. The psychological toll was immense. Studio executives frequently demeaned her appearance, with one calling her a fat little pig with pigtails and another cruelly stating, "You look like a hunchback." Such comments left Judy with lifelong insecurities about her weight and self-image. By the time she was 18, she was already seeing psychiatrists to cope with the strain. In addition to this relentless scrutiny, Judy endured sexual harassment during her time at MGM. Studio chief Louis B. Mayer reportedly made inappropriate advances, claiming she sang from the heart while placing his hand on her chest. Worse still, she alleged that some of the actors hired to play the Munchkins would grope her on set, exploiting their small stature to behave inappropriately. Her former husband, Sid Luft, recounted in a memoir that these men made her life miserable by putting their hands under her dress and behaving outrageously off-set, with reports of drunkenness and wild hotel parties. Judy herself described them as little drunks, recalling how police often had to intervene. The pressures of filming were exacerbated by director Victor Fleming's treatment of her. During one scene where Judy struggled to stop laughing, Fleming slapped her across the face to regain control. Although he later expressed remorse and offered to let the crew retaliate on her behalf, Judy dismissed the incident with a kiss, a testament to her resilience amid ongoing mistreatment. Ultimately, Judy's experience on The Wizard of Oz set a precedent for the toxic environment she would endure throughout her career. The role that brought her international fame also contributed to the decline of her mental and physical health, culminating in her tragic death at 47 from an overdose of barbiturates in 1969. 3. Failed relationships. Judy Garland's personal life was as turbulent as her professional career, marked by 4 failed marriages and numerous struggles. She married her first husband, musician David Rose, in 1941 at just 19 years old. However, their union faced early challenges. Garland claimed that her mother and MGM studio pressured her to terminate a pregnancy that same year. In 1943, the couple agreed to a trial separation. During this time, Garland had an affair with actor Tyrone Power, resulting in another pregnancy that she also chose to end. Their divorce was finalized in 1944. The following year, Garland married director Vincente Minnelli, who had worked with her on Meet Me in St. Louis. The couple welcomed their daughter, Liza Minnelli, in 1946. However, their marriage was marred by Garland's escalating mental health struggles. In 1949, she suffered a very public nervous breakdown, leading to hospitalization. Just 3 months later, she attempted suicide. Garland's personal issues also began affecting her career. By 1950, MGM terminated her contract after 15 years, citing her inability to meet professional commitments. Despite these challenges, Garland made a triumphant return to the stage in 1951 with a sold-out concert tour across Britain and Ireland. However, her marriage to Minnelli ended the same year, and in 1952, she married Sidney Luft, who had managed her tour. Together, they had 2 children, Lorna, born in 1952, and Joey, born in 1955. Following Lorna's birth, Garland battled severe postpartum depression, and her drug use worsened. At one point, she attempted suicide by cutting her neck with a razor. Doctors saved her life and performed an emergency blood transfusion at home. Ever resilient, Garland covered the wound with pearls and returned to public life. In 1954, Garland starred in one of her most iconic roles, A Star is Born, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Although she didn't win, the performance marked a career highlight. She transitioned to television in the late 1950s, starring in The Judy Garland Show, which earned 4 Emmy nominations. However, by 1963, Garland's marriage to Luft had deteriorated. She accused him of domestic violence and attempting to take their children away. Their divorce was finalized in 1965. Garland briefly married her tour promoter, Mark Herron, in 1965, but the marriage ended after just 6 months. During divorce proceedings, Garland alleged abuse, while Herron claimed he acted in self-defense. By this point, Garland's substance abuse issues had worsened, affecting her performances, including a disastrous tour in Australia where she was booed off stage in Melbourne. Through all her personal and professional struggles, Garland's resilience and talent remained undeniable, but her life was a constant battle against the pressures of fame and her own inner demons. 4. Addiction struggles. Judy Garland, once one of Hollywood's brightest stars, faced a tragic and turbulent end to her life. By the time of her death in London in 1969, at just 47, the actress was financially destitute, struggling with severe addiction to prescription drugs, and battling deep emotional turmoil. She died of a barbiturate overdose, which was ruled accidental. However, her final months were marked by chaos and controversy. In March 1969, just 3 months before her death, Garland married her 5th husband, American musician Mickey Deans. Their relationship had begun in 1966 when a mutual acquaintance asked Deans to deliver stimulant pills to Garland's New York hotel room, posing as a doctor. The couple dated on and off for 3 years before marrying in a quiet ceremony at the Chelsea Register office in London. The wedding, sparsely attended and described by one journalist as pathetic, symbolized Garland's declining state. Her daughter, Liza Minnelli, reportedly told Garland she could not attend but promised to make it to the next one. Despite the circumstances, Garland declared, finally, I am loved." At this time, Garland was embroiled in a bitter legal dispute over a performance contract and delivering erratic performances at a London nightclub, where her appearances were described as emotional car crashes. Photographs from this period depict her alongside Deans, smiling as they cut their wedding cake and posing in glamorous stage costumes. These images captured a fleeting attempt at happiness amid a life in turmoil. Her daughter Lorna Luft later reflected on this period, noting that Garland was at the peak of her prescription drug addiction, and Deans seemed powerless to save her. 3 months after their wedding, Deans discovered Garland's body in the bathroom of their rented London home. The overdose fueled speculation and conspiracy theories, with some questioning whether Deans, who was 12 years her junior, had taken advantage of her fame. Friends and critics suspected his motives, although no evidence ever implicated him in her death. Following Garland's passing, Deans published a memoir, Weep No More, My Lady, in 1972, detailing their life together. He later returned to the United States, where he passed away from congestive heart failure in 2003 at the age of 68. Garland's final years were marked by struggles to reclaim her career and battles with her personal demons, underscoring the tragic decline of a woman once celebrated as one of the most talented performers of her time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates on celebrity deaths and news updates.